Hello there my fellow Holotable heroes and welcome to another video. So I've been very busy over the past couple of months building out some brand new features on my SWGOH Life website. So if you haven't seen the website yet, there'll be a link in the description below. You can go ahead and check it out. In this video I just want to obviously go through the features I added. Hopefully you find them useful. Let me know in the comments below, because a lot of them were actually as well on the list requested by the community. So let's hop over now to the website and let's begin. As you probably noticed, adverts on my website. Yes, I know, as much as I'm against adverts, as mentioned in my January video update regarding my work-life situation, I had to find some extra streams of revenue and adverts not making as much impact as I was hoping for. So I've been trying to find different ways to optimize them. I've been playing around with the layout. So you might have noticed, if you're a regular visitor to the website, that every now and then layout change, position of the adverts. I'm just trying to find like a good balance, obviously, between making some revenue, which obviously, spoiler alert, is not really that great, is not enough yet what I would need. And as well, obviously, having that balanced approach where, the content is still the center of the attention. At the start off, I had a big banner at the top, took up almost half a page. So I kind of moved banners to the side and, still kind of trying to work out with Google AdSense experiments, what kind of works best, like where to strike that balance between that. Okay, so in terms of the features, the first one, speaking of ads, I did add an option to remove adverts. Now, in order for you to be able to remove adverts, you will need to be a Patreon, my Patreon, with the Jedi Master tier or above. So if we head over to my Patreon page, you will see I've got multiple tiers. So the base tier, Jedi Knight, remains unaffected. Obviously, this is just kind of a base level. If you do go for the higher up, I just wanted to kind of create some separation between the base tier and then the higher tiers, just give some extra benefit to those that go, beyond the base one. So Jedi Master, Jedi Temple Guardian, and Grandmaster, all of these free tiers, they also get advert-free SWGOH Life web app, as mentioned before, and as well brand new access to premium features on my website as well. So that's what we'll cover in this video. Don't worry, I also have plenty of features available to all as well to share, but there are also a few premium ones, just to give a little bit of extra gratitude, a little bit of extra thanks to those obviously that do support me on Patreon. Okay, so what you want to do, if you do want to remove adverts, click the remove adverts button and then enter your email address. So this will be the email address registered with your Patreon account. So we can just go ahead and add that in, hit submit, wait for the server to come back with a response. And obviously, if your email that you entered is registered to be my Patreon with Jedi Master or above, you have now unlocked access to premium features, and poof, all the adverts disappear and you get a nice, clean experience, the way I would like everybody should be able to do. But for now, unfortunately, adverts almost are like unnecessary evil for me. If my situation improves in the future, I will definitely consider removing these ads. But for now, I'm just trying to find some extra streams of revenue for myself. Okay, so this adverts are removed. You also have Yoda saying that you're amazing. That's always glad to hear. Okay, so let's, I guess, start off now talking through the features. So you've probably seen already, but I think was it back in January, February, I did a big update on my plan here on Conquest. Giving Feats Calculator, which allows you to kind of say, okay, these are the feats I want to do or I can't do, and it's updating calculation of how many key cards you can get and what obviously crate you can unlock. Not only that, it's also updating the plan itself. So if you have a look, for example, resistance here, and you're like, do you know what? I do need this resistance feats. It's only 5 key cards, 10 battles. I don't want to do this. You go ahead and tick it. Obviously, your keycard count goes down by 5, but as well, plan gets updated and the resistance team is gone from the plan. So this was already launched there. Hopefully, you've been using it, finding it useful and helpful. Now, the new features added here. Now, some of them were actually requested by the community. So the first one was the return of the complete battle button. This was initially before the rework of Conquest Planner, but I just didn't have time while I was reworking the whole thing to add this in. It's now returned, slightly different. Before it was a big complete button, but obviously to make interface cleaner and easier to use, instead you just click here where it shows you the number of battles. So if you click once, you can see, oh, I've done one battle. Do it the second time, boom, it means you're done. This is just for the purpose of, for example, managing your stamina. You're just going through your day, you're doing your battles, then you come back in the afternoon, you're like, oh, do I need to do another look battle? Do I need to, how many battles? So it just keeps you track. Again, I had a few people asking, will this make a return? And now it has, so you can go ahead and use this. Again, this feature is available to all. It's not a part of the premium features that we'll talk about later. And then the next feature available to all as well is another request. Up until now, all the key units for that feat were highlighted in yellow, but then some people were asking, can I also explain, what abilities comes from, because they may not be aware where that comes from. So just for example, I put it on this first team on bonus turn, but for the next volume of conquest, I will add it for all of them. It gives you an icon of the ability. For example, in this case, these are the units that have abilities for bonus turn, and you just hover over and it tells you the name of the ability. Is it special, unique, leader, or basic? And just gives you as well the description of the ability, where that comes from. So I'm not listing the entire description of the abilities here because we know some of these are insanely long. It's just that paragraph that talks about, for example, in this case, how you get a bonus turn. So hopefully you will find this useful. If you're wondering, like you're not familiar with these units, how you do get it done, just quickly access this information right here from the plan, or the same applies as well to the feats guide as well. If you're not using planner, you're just going for the feats guide, this information will be available on here as well. And then a couple of premium features. So again, that's for Jedi Master tier or above for my Patreons. You can as well both for the feats guide and as well the plan, you can as well enable to show for each of these teams what team I used against, so what was the enemy node, and then as well what data disk I had equipped on. So this you can just toggle on and off whenever you like, and then same thing, if we come to the plan, we can toggle on and off, and then for every team, as you can see, it shows this information, what node was it used against and what disks I had equipped. So this essentially just saves you a little bit of time, so you don't have to click on the video, watch the video for like 10-15 seconds to see, okay, what was the enemy, what disks they had equipped. So just give you the information right here on the website, so it saves you some time for that. Again, the spirit of most of these premium features will always be time-saving features rather than, information you can't get elsewhere otherwise, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's for the conquest updates. The most obviously time I spent, aside from changing the layout a little bit, try to clean things up, is with my Grand Arena Planner Tour. So let's first kick off with a couple of features available to all. So the first one is what I hope you will find useful is before when you click on the video button and it shows you the counter for the obviously team you're looking at. On your plan, it gives you a list, full list before, whereas now they're kind of split into sections. So the top, as you can see, these are the teams from your offense list that you have available that you didn't use elsewhere yet. So these are your available counters, in this case for Leia. And these are your unavailable counters. This means these are the counters that otherwise could work, but you didn't put them on your offense list. So let's say you go here like, let's say versus Leia, I don't know, I want to use Kylo. Yeah, let's go ahead and use Kylo. Boom, Kylo is now assigned, and all the Kylo teams are now top. These are still available. And you go like, do you know what, actually I want to do a mirror. You can just go ahead, click that, and it gets reassigned. So you can kind of manage assigning offense already from here when you're looking at the counters. And then if we go over here now, again, you can see a list of available teams, and the teams you already assigned, they're still on the list, but it's showing you they're used elsewhere. So again, if you want to change your mind, you can go back, remove Leia, assign Leia here, but you should go like, do you know what, I'm sure Seer Maliko Starkiller can handle this. Well, there we go. That's how it all works. Again, showing you in this manner. So just kind of splitting, instead of just having one long list and you have to scroll through it and try to remember, did I use this team elsewhere? Do I have this team on offense? It just shows you all the information right here in this dialog window when you're looking at the counters. So a nice feature, hopefully, that saves you some time. And again, you can just reassign teams right from here and they get assigned. Okay, so then the other feature as well that was highly requested is ability to have multiple plans. While this maybe is not multiple plans, it's just more like presets at this stage. So what allows you is, for example, to save whatever you have on screen here, even down to the banners, down to the, your league, 5v5, 3v3, so whatever you input here, once you hit save, so let's go ahead, what is a 3v3 plan, right? This will now take a snapshot of what's on screen and it'll get saved into your 3v3 plan, which is right there, and you can then load it anytime. And let's say one way of using this is you have, okay, these are my 3v3 teams. If I go back, if I now switch to 5v5, obviously 5v5, let's just say you have less teams available, and I save this as a 5v5, and then you can obviously easily switch between your 3v3 offense loadouts and between your 5v5 offense loadouts. These won't get overwritten. The only way to get rid of them is to manually remove them. Any changes you make will all the time be under default plan. That's how it works at the moment. Hopefully it's clear. Another way you could use it as well is obviously if you're running multiple accounts. So let's say this is, my main free-to-free account, but here I actually, don't have all of these Galactic Legends, for example, and I save here. Smaller account, all right, save that, and now you can then basically switch between, your, let's say, bigger account and between your smaller account. So, a couple of different ways to go about it. You can either have different sets for 3v3 and 5v5, or you can have multiple accounts. You can have as many as you like, or maybe you just had a very impressive round with how you distributed your offense versus defense, and you just want to save that as a snapshot for future reference. You can go ahead and do that as well. Okay, so this is now obviously, let's go ahead and load my main plan, I guess, to have more teams to work with. So these are now the two new features available to all. So there are also a couple of new features that are only available to premium members, again, Jedi Master tier or above on my Patreon. So the first one is very quick and simple suggested counters. So you set what your opponent's got on defense. You already decided maybe you want to use Malgus here, you want to use Luke there, whatever, right? Or you don't even know where to begin. We can just go ahead and remove everything. So instead of you going manually for each of these lists and deciding, what you want to use where, you can just click the suggested counters and it will look at the leaders for the defensive team you put down from your opponent, and then your list of offensive teams based on the leader. So this is just based on leaders, right? It doesn't take into consideration data crowns, omicrons, team comps, and things like that. Just kind of like a quick reference guide, and then you can just go ahead, click on each. Again, because with the new how I rearranged, obviously, the counter list here, the selected one always shows on top. So this can always then give you a like, oh yeah, I'm good with that, I can use that. Let's go ahead. Let's see what's going on here. Well, it is Sith Eternal, but I want to use Bane elsewhere. So what you can do is then say, do you know what? I've got Kylo available. Let's go ahead and use Kylo there. And you get the idea. It's just kind of a reference guide. It allows you to just verify that everything is working as it should. It's just kind of like a time-saving feature, so you don't have to manually go through and decide where to use where. Good thing about this as well is it will not override what you already assigned. For example, if I say, hold on, I want to use Sana here on Jabba because it works great because of, the data crowns now and things like that. Or maybe if free doesn't. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's say for the sake of it, this will not overwrite what you already manually selected. This will just look at the defensive teams that got nothing assigned yet and all your offensive teams that were not assigned yet. So you click that, boom, it does it. Very quick, very simple. And finally, the biggest feature, which took me quite a long time to build, so hopefully for those of you that you want to give it a try, you will find useful, Grand Arena Scout. So this is maybe similar to what you get on SWGOH already. So again, in the spirit of my premium features, it's just a time-saving thing. I'm not like trying to gatekeep any data or any information. So what you want to do is you will put in your enemy's ally code, and whether it's 5v5 or 3v3 that you've chosen up here, it will then go back and retrieve only the data from the most recent week of 3v3 or most recent week of 5v5, and that's it. It doesn't go way back more, it doesn't give you a whole lot, right? So you go ahead, do that, it goes to the server, comes back with the data. So what you will notice is it's data for my fellow guild members on Jeta, and as well obviously brilliant content creator, shout out to him by the way. So the reason why I chose him, because he was a little bit changing in his most recent free week. Like if we would check 5v5, his 5v5, as you can see, not so many teams. It's very simple. You just go like, yeah, okay, no changes there, and you can just go ahead, import all the defense they put down, and then you can start your planning. But obviously, let's hop over back to 3v3, where things were not as simple. So in situations where obviously your opponent is changing the defense a lot, means that because there are 3 rounds each week, that there may be more teams they used in each zone that there are slots. So for example, as you can see on south, they used over a span of a week 8 different teams. On the north, they used 7 different teams. In the trap zone, they used 8 different teams as well. And even in fleets, they use 4. That's why you get the exclamation mark. And you cannot import yet this until you decide what teams you want to exclude from the plan. So let's go, you go like, I'm not too worried about dealing with malevolence. So let's just plan. I always like to then plan for the worst case scenario, right? And in trap zone, you go like, well, I don't know. I don't worry about Qui-Gon, right? I don't worry about these guys. I don't worry about Luke. In the North zone, you go like, again, I don't worry about Qui-Gon, about Finn. And then down south, Dash, yeah, Starkiller, I don't know, and Bo, for example. And now, once you've deselected enough teams that you obviously hit the threshold that the amount of selected teams is the same as the zone teams, exclamation marks go away, you can go ahead, hit import, and this would now import only the defense to the plan. Now you have to know that this will replace whatever you have on the plan already. So unlike suggested counters, it will not replace what you manually put in there. This will replace everything. So if you want to keep what you had there before, you might want to save the plan, which we discussed earlier. Another thing obviously in here, aside from showing exact thing comp that was there, is as well the exact data cron they had equipped. Again, all this information is the same as you would get on SWGOH for free, no subscription required. Again, just trying to reiterate, I am only adding this as a time-saving feature. Another time-saving feature as well is direct link if you are using GAC Insights. So for each of these teams, you can click, it'll open GAC Insights with exact team comp from the history, and as well with exact data cron they had equipped. So just saving you a few clicks before you start researching your counters. So when you're researching your counters, if that's what you do, what then it also allows you is right here to assign counters that you want to use. So you can just right from this interface go through and make a plan for the entire where you want to use which counters. So here, let's say you want to use, I don't know, Sith Eternal. Here we want to use Treya, right? So you can do this for all of team, for non-teams, as many as you like. And then once you're ready, go ahead, hit import, and all the defensive teams from the scout, all the teams you assigned get imported on here. Worth mentioning, for example, if the actual teams you are assigning there, they are available from all the units, not the ones you only have down here. So if there were any teams that were not on your offense list, or your offense list was empty, you just started with nothing, then they just automatically get added to your offense list and as well assigned accordingly. If, for example, they had Sith Eternal here on the list, he just got assigned there as well. So a bit of a time-saving feature, obviously. I'm keen to find out, for those of you that obviously are my Patreons that have access to this, if you can give it a spin, let me know how it goes. I'm sure there'll be some bugs because It's the first time I had to like create like a backend server to handle the data requests, and that's not my area of expertise. I'm more of a front-end UI developer, so maybe there'll be some bugs and kinks to work out along the way. So I'm always obviously open for feedback, bug reports or anything, as usual on my Discord server. Thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully, obviously, you find these new features useful, especially the free ones available to all, and then the ones that obviously do go beyond the base support, that do go opt out to be Jedi Master or above. Then they do get some nice kind of time-saving features, just like an extra gesture of gratitude for your amazing support. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one, but until then, have fun, enjoy life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.